Hello dear student, this is Devang Shah from LJ University. So today we are going to discuss about the topic which is related with wires and cables. As such, we have been discussing about the subject which is called basic electrical engineering. If we start with some of the topics related with electrical wiring, safety and protections, we are going to discuss about the types of wires and cables, then system of wiring, where we are going to discuss about the domestic and industrial wiring, then simple control circuit in domestic installation, types of switches for electrical wiring. So far we learn about the different types of wires and cables, their characteristics and the constructions of wire and cable. Now if we talk about domestic and industrial wiring, why we need a wiring first? So for that we require wiring for safety of system against the fire, dampness and corrosive fumes, durability of type of wire and material used, appearance of the wiring system and quality and maintenance cost of wiring system. Right now, why we are using this kind of wiring for domestic and industrial purpose? Because see, at your home you have a different home appliances like fridge, TV, microwave, washing machine, and in industrial application you have or high voltage machinery systems where those are connected through a main supply to the input terminal of the appliances, right? So how they are going to connect from the main supply, that let's say it's from grid to input of appliances, that is through the wires. So here we need to take care about kind of methods where you can do a proper installation of wiring such a way that this wiring you require for this particular advantages, right? So that's why we have to understand a need of wiring, right? Now the system of wiring for domestic and industrial application, if you can see here, there are various methods of part of the system. One of the method is defined as a clit wiring, then second is the caching capping wiring, Cts and Drs wiring and conduit wiring, right? So if we talk one by one, so one is the clit wiring, where you can see there are two grooves where the two grooves will carry the wire. So you have a one part is a base and another part is a cap, where how this kind of wiring can be done you can see here using this method. This is a kind of porcelain materials are being used for this kind of clit wiring, and this is open to air. So this type of wiring is used for temporary purpose. So it has a low installation cost. It consists of two halves of porcelain plates, one of which is grooved to carry the wire. The system is not used for damp walls and ceilings. So this wiring system is having two or three grooves so as to receive two or three wires. Lower half of the cleat is defined as a base and upper half of the cleat is defined as a cap. And let's discuss about the advantage and disadvantage, where the advantage part is the cheapest method, easy alteration, least installation time, but it has no protection against the damage, fire, dampness, not good as a part of the appearance. It is just open in air, and it has a short life. If we talk about the caching and capping type of wiring, see all those are wiring we are using or we have been using since last 50 to 60 years, and over a time we improve our wiring system, and day by day we are going ahead the much advantageous wiring system, right? So in terms of the caching and capping wiring, you can see there is a wooden block, right? So there are two wooden blocks in between that will carry a wire, and those wires are like PVC wires. Inside you have a core conductor, and the outside of this wire is like coated with the PVC material, right? So you have a caching is a base part, and over that you have a capping on both the wooden parts. So you can see the picture of this caching capping type wiring, where how wiring can be done in a household application, in domestic wiring or industrial wiring, right? So those kind of wiring you can see in some heritage homes, you can see this kind of caching capping known as the wooden caching and capping wiring. It is covered with the thick wood capping of rectangular blocks of the same width as that of the casing. This type of wiring used for voltage up to 250 volt in dry place where no risk of fire because it's made up of the wood. So better appearance, provides sufficient protection, more life of wiring quickly, and it has a quick installation. What are the disadvantages? Very costly method. It's required a skilled labor, not suitable for the damp places, risk of firing, right, and not easy to find faults for this kind of casing capping type wiring. So let's move and we'll discuss about the CTS and TRS wiring, where you can see this is very easy installation with the specific method where we can use this particular wiring for domestic application. Cap type sheet CTS wire or tough rubber sheet TRS wire. So basically the outer layer tire, it's a like tire material or rubber material, right? But again it's exposed to air. This wiring is carried out on thick wood batten which are fixed on the walls and ceilings by screws and wooden plugs, right? So it is just over the ceiling or wall with the complete installation is with the help of screws and wooden plugs. This is also known as the batten type of wiring. The CTS and TRS wires are used, are not much affected by the chemical, water or strain, right? So there are certain advantages of CTS and TRS wiring like longer life, good appearance, less risk of fire, not suitable at the places open to sun and rain, right? Affected by lubricants oil, risk of mechanical injury in works of like areas, right? So in those kind of areas we cannot use this kind of wiring. Nowadays we are using the conduit wiring, where there are two kinds of conduit wiring. One is surface conduit wiring and another one is a concealed conduit wiring. Now in this kind of conduit wiring are made up of the mild steel and supplied with the enamel coating on its internal and external surfaces. So basically they are like of mild steel pipes, and those pipes will carry the electrical wires, right, and which is coated with a specific material in inner and outer surfaces. So if we talk about the surface conduit wiring, which is mounted on a wall with the help of pipe or hook or saddles, you can see in a surface conduit wiring this image, and used in places where there is a considerable dust present, such as textile or floor mills. Same way for a concealed conduit wiring, we can see at our homes, all the buildings nowadays they use this kind of concealed conduit wiring. So this conduit are buried under the wall at the time of plastering, used in residential and public buildings where the appearance is important factor, right? Neat and attractive appearance is a part of the advantages. Long life of wiring, good protection from dampness, fire and mechanical damages, less maintenance and durable and a shock proof, right? Because it's completely a kind of concealed as well as the surface conduit wiring. But it has a high cost, required highly skilled labor, compulsory earthing is required for those kind of wiring, right? Then if it is part of the wiring, in between you have to use a different kind of switches, because the switch you are going to use between a main supply and home appliances. So different kinds of switches are available. Based on that, you have a different kinds of advantages. In those kind of switches you can use for a specific situation where there are different types of switches. There are mainly 4 types of switches. One is called SPST, which is called a single port single through switch. You can see the symbol of this switch and the images of those switch when you go to market, and if you want to purchase those kind of switches you can go through email and you can have a reference of this. Then another type of switch is SPDT, which is a single pole double through, where you can see there is a 1 pole and 2 throughs as part of the symbol and the kind of images. Then third type of switch is DPST, which is a double pole single through. So here you see the double pole and only the single through that wire goes. So from the images you may across those kind of switches maybe later on. And then the fourth type of switches is called DPDT, which is called double pole double through, right? So you have 2 poles You can see there is a moving part in the switch which we define as a pole, and there are two throws in between the connection you can make it. So for a better understanding, we'll define in terms of the different types of the switches, like single pole single throw switch with the part of its symbol, and where you are going to use where one of the power supply, simple switch where the load is connected. You can connect the lamp here, and this is a like simple switch where single pole and single through, right? So there is only one pole, right? And this is a single through, so connection would be connected with the single path. Same way here, single pole, see the pole is one, but there is double through. So in two direction the current would be passes. So that is better depicted in this particular circuit. You can see the SPDT is a single pole where two throughs are connected, and two throughs where two loads conditions are connected, right? So it's kind of parallel connection. You can see there is a single pole and two throughs. Same way, this is a double pole and the single through. So the connection would be connected with the only one, but it has the double pole, double moving as part of the switching, moving part of the switch. That is the double pole single through. Same way here, you can check the double pole double through where there are two poles and two throughs, where in both the throughs you can find a which is a current passing through each through when the moving part is connected, and which is used for a connection of motor and some other devices, right? So that's what how you can use those kind of electrical switches, a design of different electrical circuits. We're going to discuss about the simple control circuit in domestic installation. So this is related with different situation where at your home how the wiring is being done. So you can see there are different switches are available where there is a main supply where neutral line and the line current goes through the MCB, then or a main switch. Then you have a switches, and all those switches are connected with the different appliances like fans and lamps through the conducting wires or electrical wires, where in this particular type of situation, if you want to control your home appliances, if you want to control your devices through the switches, how that can be possible, that we are going to discuss the single control circuit. So one simple circuit, you can see the control of one lamp from one point. That's very easy, that you just switch on the lamp, or there is a one switch which is connected between the main supply and lamp. That is a single way single through switch. So here just you make the switch on and the lamp will glow. So that's one lamp and one point, right? So same way here, you can provide a control of one lamp through the one switch. Now here you can provide the control of one lamp from two positions or two switches, right? So you can see the best example is the staircase wiring, where you can operate the lamp placed in between the middle part of the staircase, where if you want to go upstairs, you can operate. You can see switch 1 is available, switch 2 is available. The connection is such a way that you can control this one lamp from 2 points, right? So you can make it switch on or off from the ground floor. Same way, if you go for the first floor after this staircase, you can still operate that particular lamp, right? And this can be possible through two-way switch on. We define as the staircase wiring, where 2 points, the control is available from 2 points, and you can operate a single lamp, right? One more is defined as a go down wiring, where generally you can see in go down wiring there are different sections, where once you finish the first section, right, one lamp is on, and you move on successively to other part of this go down, the first part of the lamp that would go on switch off, and the next part would switch on. Same way successively, you can refer the complete go down your warehouse wiring system, where SPST is this switch is being used at the first instance, then SPDT switches are using successively. Once you approach the longer length of your go down wiring system. So that's what you can control the multiple lamp using the multiple switches. So that's what the basic example of the go down wiring example, where you have a simple control over different devices using those kind of domestic installation of wiring, right? Same way you can use the same concept for the industrial, where instead of lamp you have a heavy machinery like that way, right? So this is what a very basic idea of how the wiring is being done, different kind of switches we are being used for this domestic and industrial wiring, and how this wiring can be done such a way that you can provide a simple control using the different switch, and then you can operate this kind of home appliances. Thank you very much. If you have any query, please write in my comment box.